Hi guys, it's me again. So now we're going to talk a little bit more about our letters, so our email drafts, right? And what we have as email drafts and how do they come about. Now the email drafts are always in our settings, which is controlled by the admin under email, and we have all the email templates that are saved here. And this is what you access. These are all the emails. Please check you have all these emails are accessible for you from your email section, which is directly in your deal section. Alright, now it's very important, even if you're working on a company, you need to convert it into a deal for you to respond to it. So every action you take is actually converted into a deal from the company. So let's say, for example, if I was working with tech events, I need to convert from general to deals first before create a deal and into the respective funnel, and then save it, and then I can start corresponding with this person. I click save, so I've created a deal out of it, and now I can start emailing them from here, from our standard template. So let's talk about each of these email templates that we have and what these templates entail. So let's take our first email template, which is supplier registration. Whenever we have these suppliers sending us tents or lighting or catering or things like that, we have a standard email that is sent back to them where they can click this link and they will go to our Jotforms form for the supplier's registration. So it's very important that you always ensure that whoever's emailing you any sort of item, they are emailed this back as a response, and it will go into them as supplier registration and they will register it on the form. Once in a month you check the form and you can register them onto your website if you want to put them up on your website, or you can also encourage them to directly go on to registering online. So this form is for suppliers, so they can click here for their Diva supplier registration, okay, if they need to. And then, so here we encourage our suppliers to directly register online under their, for event support or for production, depending on what they are supplying us. And we encourage them to please register themselves, and also if they are not part of any of these, then they can fill in this form. So basically, they don't fit into any of these elements that we already have, then they can fill in the Diva supplier registration form, which is a form which we will take you through later. Okay, so that is your supplier registration forms. That's the first one, or the email, sorry. The second one is registration approval. So registration approval is actually sent after you actually send the register email. Now when a model is trying to reach you, then you tell them to register, so you send them the first email, which is to register with Diva. But if they've already registered and the images are not as per our standard, or they've not uploaded all the images, or the first picture is not right, then you send them the follow-up email, which is registration approval. Images and details need to be fixed prior to applying. This email, it actually talks to the client and gives them the links to the videos of how they should be registering properly and what are the elements that are probably causing them not to be approved. So it's important you know what this email is for. The next one is the international model submission form. This is basically for for agents who are sending us models and proposing models to us. They propose international models for a certain period. So we have a form online. I'll take you through the form quickly so you can have a look at what the form looks like. So this is the link from your email that we were working on. Like, I'll show you now. Right. So this, if you click this link, it takes you to this form. And now in this form, the mother agency can fill their mother agency details, all their date of birth, blah blah. They can fill in the model of they're proposing, what kind of commercials the model can do, all these details, and the proposing the model images. So they can upload the tear sheets of the models, their Polaroids of the models, and the photo, and they can click submit. Now this form lands up and reaches us on our platform, which is our main inbox here in Jotforms, where we can actually go into the form inbox. I'll give you an example of another one that is submitted. Inbox here, and then we can see all the submissions that are for that department. So when we need them, we can check on them. You can also download them all as an Excel as well over here. So it works very well. So this is the standard email that goes back as a response to any of the international model agencies recommending models to us. Okay. International model requirement is a standard email that we sent out when we are looking for international models to our mother agencies. So this is the first email that, in case anybody emails you asking you for a collaboration and they'd like to collaborate, this is the email that we send out to them, so that they know what it is that we look for in terms of a model and what are the requirements for that. It also tells you and all these emails are linked to deals, so only under deals will you find the email drafts. Yeah. Next you have the HR email. Now anybody, if they're applying for a job, and like a job as a driver or as a booker or a producer or any of these other elements, then they get a standard email. Again, it's a job application which is linked to your forms, which I'm going to take and show you. So this form from this template, if you click it, or any of the candidate clicks it, they get taken to this form, which is the Diva application form, which gives them a list of questions and things like that that they have to respond to, which makes it much easier for us when we're interviewing them with all the questions. Please go through these questions so that you understand as well what are the questions we're asking them. In case we've missed anything, please bring it to my attention so that I can have that edited. Okay? The next form that we have is the fashion show intro email. So when clients are emailing us for fashion show inquiries, this is the email draft that we send them, which gives us a list of all the fashion shows that we've done before, and it also gives the client a bit more options of the models that we are proposing to them. Yeah, so this is the form that goes out with the links to all the videos that we've done and a little more detailed, and this has all the composite cards of the models that you're proposing for the client. You need to check this. If you see any errors, please bring it to my attention so that we can have it fixed. So it's very important you try and send these to yourself and constantly check if there are any errors that are coming up. They need to be sent to me as a task, and then I'll have it looked into and have it fixed for you. Okay. Some of the things I can do personally myself, but some of the things I need to contract developer to get this sorted for you. So it's very important you always don't try to fix it yourself, but bring it to my attention and then we can do it together. Okay. The next email we have is the Expo Diva introduction. So if there's any Expo clients that we are poaching, this is the standard one that we sent out, which has the links to all our Expo files. That is also updated, and if you follow the links, you can check what material is being sent out. It's very important you know what material is being sent out and follow all these links to check it out yourself. And then you have the next one, which is your Diva registration online, which is the most common form I think we all use. This form is sent out as to every model or talent that is applying. It basically gives them the link of how exactly they need to reply, what are the videos, help videos for them to look at before they apply. I strongly recommend you to go through each of these links and treat them, look at it through a model's point of view. If there are any comments, if you want to shorten it out, improve it, or if the links are not working, please bring them to my attention and I can have them fixed for you as well. But it's very important you have them. This email basically talks to the talented, tell the talent where exactly they can go to register, how they can go to register. There are videos to help them, find out how registration happens, how the website works and things like that. So it's very important that this is the standard email that goes out and not your one-line responses that you create from your own fantasy, because you're not working as a freelancer or sitting in your house. It is a professional organization, and professional organizations expect to have professional responses that go out to anybody other than in the agency. So it's very important you always email them this allocated drafts, and then you need to know what the drafts are. The next one we talk about is the Diva company profile. The Diva company profile has got all our company profile in it, and this is standard company profile which has a link to each of the different departments and the different services that we offer. This goes standard to all clients, all new clients, so that they can understand what it is that we have done, who we are, and what are the different services that we offer. It's called the Diva company profile, and it also has an attachment of the company brochure as well, so the clients can have it. The next one is for Diva Holdings, so that's not relevant to the rest of the bookers. This is another one that is clients, let's get to know you better. We are presently working on this form to be collaborated with our Bitrix, so when clients actually fill this form, it already creates a client with all their details in it. So this, if you look at the registration form, I'll show you, I'll take you through it. So basically this form link comes here, and the client gets all the details as per our Bitrix. So they fill this up, and when they fill it up, it goes straight to our Bitrix account. So it saves you the trouble of actually creating a client if the client has created it for you. Fantastic. Otherwise, you can call the client. By and large, you should call the client and take these details down yourself. But this is just as a backup in case you can't get hold of the client. You can email them this, and then they can fill it at their leisure and send it back to you. So that's what this get to know your client, serve you better email is about. The next one is your draft for your casting Diva models. This is the information that you need to have for any casting. So every time you send out a casting, it has to follow exactly the same format. So you can't just erratically say, hey, listen, I have a shoot tomorrow for please bring a black dress. You need to put in casting date, this time, this, da. If you don't have the information, you put TBN. But you always send only the same draft every time. It's a standard draft that we use across all castings. The next email that we have is called the accounts model payment inquiry. So if any model is claiming or asking you for payments or following up on payments, you can send them this draft which explains everything about the payments. They can fill this form, this model claim form, and they come here. So here is where they put their details of their first name, second name, their email, their phone number, job name, job date, booker name. They upload their booking forms that you send them, and they sign it and submit. And once they do that, it comes up directly in our template that we can see over here, so that it's easier for accounts to have all the models for following up payments in one place only. So it's very important that everybody who's claiming for payments need to be sent this email back to them. Always encourage models to send you an email, and when they send you an email, just respond with this email back so that they can put in this information and go to the right channel instead of trying to make them excuses or trying to avoid their calls. We don't do such things. This is not acceptable in any professional environment, not to respond to a call or because they irritate you or they're repeating the same thing or whatever. You need to always respond, and respond politely and professionally. Any booker or producer or Diva representative not responding is just not acceptable in Diva. You have to respond, and we have standardized responses. You just send the standardized responses. Okay. Now if you want to have anybody's bank details, the next draft is for bank transfer information, because our bank account needs all these information for doing a bank transfer. So this is the standard email that you need to send out to be able to get the details of whoever you need to transfer money to or create a beneficiary in the bank account for. So that's called bank transfer information request. Now the rest of the forms are the standard forms that you send out to client whenever client inquires. An inquiry comes in, we have a standard form that everybody that goes out, different form for inquiries. For, let's say, for example, if it's if it's a TVC inquiry, this is the information that you would need before you can actually start booking the job. So it's important that you always, every time you get an inquiry, the standard inquiry email is sent out. For TVC, the requirements are different. For Photoshoot, this is the standard format that goes out, that gets filled by the client and sent back. For training courses, anybody applying for training courses, there is a standard format for that too. And we also have the book or model training course form here that goes into one of the forms. So that link goes up here and the talent can fill up all the details. They can choose which one they want. So, they can choose if they want to book a portfolio or a model course, or so they can choose that, click that, put their preferred dates, a note to photographer. These are the thing they sign and they submit it. And this comes up into your forms, which is again here. So this way you have all the forms that are for the model portfolio or courses that come up into your respective inbox. So for example here, this inbox, all the models who are inquiring for, would like to book a portfolio or a course, will be submitted in here and they will be filled up here. The same with the model portfolio queries. They will also fill up this link and they will be taken to the respective form, which is this one, which we just showed you. This one, and they will fill up their details. Okay. The next one is host or promoter inquiry. In case there's a client who's looking for host as a promoter, this is the standard draft that goes out. For fashion show inquiry, this is the standard format that goes out. And for entertainers inquiry, this is the standard format that goes out. Please go through all these different drafts that you have. You can easily see them in your CRM. If you open up any of your anybody you have in the deals, let's say this one, you can go into email here and then you can click on no template and choose the template and go through each of these templates. If you have any opinion or any ideas which is causing confusion, or you'd like to improvise in the form, or you would like to add or delete a certain section, please bring it to my attention as a task. So you create a task and you can send it to me and you can send the details. You can just click tasks to create a new task, and then you can create your task that you need to do. You put your own name here and then you can responsible person, or you can add me here, sorry, and then you can add your participants, and then you can add your deadlines, if it's a repetitive task, and then you can add the task, and I'll get the task and I'll have it addressed and sorted for you. So that brings us to the end of this chapter, email drafts and Jotum forms. So I'm going to just quickly show you about the Jotum forms as well. Jotum forms, like we mentioned earlier, are sitting in Jotum forms, is sitting in our Jotum form account, and these are all our standard forms. If you have to create a new form because you're hiring a new position, or if you want to create a new form that is, let's say casting or whatever, you can also do that. I've shown you a simple generic casting one that I created for one of the castings I'm working on. But you can bring that to a task and I can create a different casting for you. Depending on each casting is different. And the one I'm doing right now, I am casting for, I need the Polaroids and the expression videos and things like that. So I've asked for that. But if you have a different requirement, you can always create specific forms for your specific castings. And the models can fill up these casting forms and send them back to you. You have that facility to do so. Now, if you have, let's say, salon staff that we are hiring, then we have a form for the salon staff as well. And so you can create as many forms as you want, and then you can just go into the inbox and then check it out. Now, for example, we've just created a form for one of the other companies for the salon, where we have put in what languages they speak, what are the different products, what services they can provide, and blah blah. So you can, if you have standardized information that you want for a client or for a job requirement, you can always create multiple forms for you, and you're able to see these forms when you highlight them. You can just go into them and go into inbox, and in inbox you will be able to see all the applicants of these forms. You can see all the information that they have sent you right away in the same format. So the applicants' details. This gives you good insight as to the kind of applicant that's sending across their details, if they've skipped anything. So it's a fantastic way of working. You can also download respective forms, and then you can get your download and you can save that. So, for example, this gentleman has sent a CV across. This is the way the team works, and let's all work together on the same standards that have been set for everyone. Thank you, and look forward to the next chapter with you. Bye for now.